Ah! Two viewers, okay. Get this person some holy water. For the record, I am not a man. Please don't refer to me as such. But also, welcome to the stream. Two people watching. Let's see if we can get more. It's also very bright outside. Peak horror. So, I've got a fucking bone to pick with YouTube. So, the reason I just suddenly cancelled the stream was so I do all my live streams on my phone. I'm real professional like that. I don't have a good computer still. And I used to be able to live stream with my phone horizontally. Now they demand that I only do it vertically, like I'm filming a goddamn YouTube short. Screw you, YouTube. I hate this. This sucks. But the people tuning into the stream, you don't suck. You're pretty cool. Question: How I made Rajiv? I wouldn't really Rajiv. I don't have him in the room with me, but we're already getting questions about customs. I don't know why I didn't expect this. I'll be right back. I'm just getting here. Excuse me while I wrap up. It is cold. 15 viewers? What the fuck? That was quick. Do people like me that much? I never would have imagined. Okay. Rajiv. Oh my god. Does this do anything? It just makes my room darker. Maybe if I adjust the camera. I don't think I'm accomplishing anything. Ow. Ow. Fuck, what? Right. You underestimate yourself, bro. You make some top-notch shit. Why, thank you. Yeah! Terrence 2015. That's an OG right there. Anyway, Rajiv. I made him with a bunch of different pieces. His chassis and wheels come from the Thomas Wood Emily. His boiler and cab and splashers all come from Molly. Smokebox and face are from the Trackmaster Push Along. And just a piece of basswood here for the buffer beam. I also did have to add some wood to the bottom to raise his height a little, just so he wouldn't scrape against the wheels. And I did fill in what used to be the gap of Molly's cab with some clay. And yeah. This took a lot of work. Was not fun, and I'm glad that I'm finally done with him. But yeah, he is. I will probably make an actual proper video on him someday, but I can't tell you when that'll be. Ever made a custom wooden railway S&D JR7F any chance? I'm gonna say no, I haven't. Let me look up what that actually looks like. I feel like I have a vague idea. I've heard of a few things called 7Fs, but that is not the internet. That is my photo killer. S and DJR 7F. Oh, okay, one of these things. It looks cool. I don't know if I would make one, but if I ever feel like it, I might. Yeah, I've got other priorities as far as customs lie at the moment. Yeah, is 280 tender? Yeah, have you seen the new Cat in the Hat trailer? No, I haven't. I I forgot that there is like a new movie being made. I'm not interested. But okay. Oh, I'm losing viewers. We went from 15 to 8. Damn. I guess I'm not entertaining. Oh well. Stream's already started. I'm not ending it now. People who choose to stick around, you're stuck with me. I'll let this get to like 10 minutes long and then I'll actually talk about the main subject of this stream. Give time to let people ask stuff. I've made one out of trash I collect. That cool. Good for you. Okay. I'm not reading that. Right. So, oh wait. Please, no. May we indulge in thine current release of diecast chuggers? Yeah. Fucking might as well. The stream's pretty dead otherwise. Okay, so yesterday I went out and I went out, did a bit of looking, did hit up the town, looking at places, seeing what there was, window shopping, all that cool jazz. Words. And obviously a lot of buzz been going around about how the new 2026 diecast toys are now out in the UK. And I went to go see for myself, and seeing that they had finally hit my area, well, I did I did the obvious thing. I did what seemed most sensible at the time, and I went to my local model shop and bought this water tower. My favorite Thomas and Friends episode is PA Problems, Goodbye, Sir Topsham Hat, and Duncan and the Grumpy Passenger. Those are good picks. The first thing I hear is just words. Whoa, a soda hydration station. Yeah. Oh, drink up, little Thomas. Glug glug. Right. Basically, all my customs made out of trash and murdered generic wooden railway trains and rolling stock that I slaughter for the sake of not buying stuff. I mean that's smart. It's good to save your money. I should try that sometime. I certainly did not. But you know, this water tower isn't the only thing I bought, but I did pick it up because I thought it was cool. It looks just like the ones from the show, basically. And I just thought it would be nice set dressing because it was also pretty cheap. So yeah. That aside, there's the stuff that I'm sure people really want to see. Are you going to do a remake of Duncan and the Grumpy Passenger? If you do, I would love to see it. I don't really do remakes, so probably not. Like, if I ever were to do it, it wouldn't be like it. Nothing. It's not a priority. Right now, I'm trying to focus on my own series. The Wooden Railway Soda Station. Okay. But, I went out and I saw the new stock and I thought, hey, I don't want to be spending too much, so I'll get what seems the most necessary at the time to give me a taste of what the range has to offer. And I decided, well, I should start with these guys because it's been forever since they had toys released, and I might as well see what a modern interpretation of them is like. But also, if I'm going to be getting into a new range, it only makes sense to get the title character, just to see what he's like. He should be the one who sets the example for everyone. And also I did get him with Annie because what's the point of getting the standalone Thomas when this is an option? But then I figured, well, if I only get these two, then my only point of reference is just 2-packs. So surely it makes sense to get a single engine. And also, this was the only Rosie in the stores, so I thought, hey, might as well. But then, there was only one troublesome truck, and I might as well get another piece of rolling stock to enjoy. Surely that should be more than enough. But then, after more looking around, I checked in another Smith's. I got all these from Smith's, by the way. A Smith's in a different area, and then it hit me. I don't have any tender engines. And also, fun fact, a diecast Henry was one of my first ever Thomas toys. I got a take-along Henry when I was like 3 years old. So it only makes sense to get him as one of my first. But hey, since I have a tender engine now, I have standard releases, big releases, tender engines. I've pretty much got everything I need, right? Yeah, I definitely didn't need to pick up anything else. But, Gordon is another character I like, and I am mildly curious about this one, so I thought, why not? That's. But then, that's it. I've got 3 tank engines, 2 tender engines, 3 pieces of rolling stock. Surely that is more than enough, especially to get when you're just starting out, right? Why do I do this to myself? I am a responsible adult with adult money. I promise. Anyway. Bulstrode the brake fan. Gangster and mob boss. Sees new toys no one else has access to and can get ahead of the game by reviewing them. I know I'll buy a water tower. But then it's me, they're holding me. Again, I am not a he. Please don't refer to me as such. I go by they, them, for the record. Another one. Do you like Nia or Rebecca? For me, Nia, I hope to get the 2026 Nia. I do like Nia and Rebecca. I like Nia a little bit more. And I do really want to get the new diecast Nia when that comes out. Right. I have 16 2019 push long troublesome trucks. I'm guilty as fuck. God damn. That's a lot. Yo, same. Hello. Hello, Tidmouth River Studios. Nice to have you. Non-binaries. Yeah. Also, yeah, on that note, it's Pride Month. Happy Pride Month to all the fellow queers in the chat. It's our month. Now we rise. But first, I'm gonna look at some toys. My toys. Happy Pride Month. If I get Nia, I would love to do Nia and the Grumpy Passenger, Duncan and the Grumpy Passenger, okay? Join and immediately talk about queens. Wow. Hey, Wolfie. Queer. Queer. You got there. Well done. Nice to have you, Wolfie. We are talking about queers and my fears. Happy Pride Month, me fellow. But alright, I guess now the real question is, out of all of these creatures, which one do I open first? I suppose it doesn't really matter. Okay. Rosie! You know what? Sure. We'll start with Rosie. You commented first, so you get the pick. Let me put everything aside because there's too much here. Start off small. Right. Okay. Dolan next. God, I wish, Wolfie, I haven't found him yet, but what? I guess I'll quickly talk. I like the new boxes for these. That they are big. They do remind me a lot of like Hot Wheels and Disney cars, which I guess makes sense. These are made by the same people who do the car stuff now. And I will try to refrain from ragging too much on these faces. Like a lot of people, I'm not the biggest fan, but I will try to judge the toys on their own merit. But yeah. The back of the box isn't super interesting, mostly just legal jargon. But it does show the other characters you can get in this format. And it does change, like, for the basic assortment and the deluxe assortments, it does show what characters are available in this format, which I appreciate. If it were up to me, I would maybe put like a bit of text on the back just to try and explain the characters. Because if we're never going to get character cards back, I think that would be a good compromise. Like, and also to say, as for what's available here, Percy and Diesel and Toby, I'm not going to get them. I'm going to wait until their 2-pack variants come out. Harold, I am not going to touch with a 10-foot pole. So, yeah. Other than that, I like the darker blue. The new logo is... it's growing on me. I like the little detail of the track here. And as much as I'm not a fan of the new look for the characters, it is nice to have this massive promo here to give you a really good look at the character. A lot of comments going by. I mean this in the nicest way possible, but... okay, that got deleted before I could read it. Rosie, Milo custom when Milo and Char, my beloveds. Everything on the box is backwards. Mattel really dropped the ball. That's Jay. Ray, can I ask a favor? That depends. I'm scared, but go ahead. It is an actual crime that they separated Annie and Clarabelle. Like, you can't do that. Yeah, that is a bit of an odd choice. I'm not sure. Is Rosie, the new Rosie, going to be in your episode? Probably not. Like, I didn't buy any of these to use in my series. They're just for collection's sake. Can you measure the new diecast Annie face? Sure. I'll do that as soon as I'm able to. Hello. Hello, Jonathan. Hello, Jonathan. Welcome. Sorry for deleting my comment. I was worried it was too irrelevant to what the stream was about. Oh, that's fine. Okay. Let's get around. Thank you. No problem. Let's just get this open. Rosie! She actually got a decent amount of weight. Okay. Give you a look. A little spin around. Okay. So, as I said, she's got a decent amount of weight, and the shape seems fine. We're going to see it more once I get the other engines out, but I know that she is apparently very underscaled, which I'm not a fan of. And, pardon me, to address the elephant in the room, of course, they all have magnets now. Kind of like when Take and Play gave their engines the Wooden Railway style magnets. They do connect to Wooden Railway, and they are one way. And they do fit on Wooden Railway track, which is pretty cool. So I guess if you really wanted to, you could use these for Wooden Railway videos, and she is so tiny, oh my god. She hasn't got lining on her boiler, which is weird. I'm not sure why they omitted that. Her lamp also only has, like, some printing on the front, which is a bit weird. But the printed detail on the side looks nice. Oh, wait. Oh, that's unfortunate. I don't know how all this shows up on camera, but mine has, like, a chip in the number on this side. The side you couldn't see in the box, that's a shame. The The window is a bit odd because I know there's supposed to be like a little extra frame bit in the middle, but there isn't. The roof is a separate piece, and it's molded into the coal. She has her tail lamp molded on, which is a nice detail. These wheels are the same as the 2025 diecasts, except now they have counterweights. Yeah. They also took the time to make the wheels a different shade of red from the body, which is nice, I guess, but then they didn't do it for the buffer beam. Also, none of these have painted buffers, so just to get that out there. The face, it looks pretty spot on to the box art, and it seems pretty competently printed to me. It doesn't look like it's messed up at all. I'm not a fan of Rosie's redesigned face, but I think the toy does capture the box art well. She looks a bit like Hong Mei to me. I also can show the bottom. She's held in by rivets. She has her name molded into the chassis, as well as this little Thomas ticket at the bottom. Neat. I do think this is one of the weaker diecasts, but already I like this much more than the motorized toys. It helps that this was only Yeah. It helps that this thing wasn't even £5. Now for the comments. Cute. I really want to take the 2026 Rosie and make Brad really bad. Brad mention in 2026. Wow. Why did they make my girl so short? Horrors! Okay. After all I do for the Sudric Legends writing room when not making a bunch of references, SMH. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I have much else to talk about with Rosie. So we'll move on to another character. You know, let's play again. I'm gonna reach back here. Whoever I pick up is whoever I open next. I can't tell who I'm holding. It's a troublesome truck. Sure. Do you think Duncan looks amazing in CGI? I love it. Duncan is like Vincent from regular shit. No, I'm not a fan of CGI Duncan. Talk more about Rosie anyway. You know what? Good point. Rosie is cool. I'm glad that she's gonna be prominent in something. I'm also pretty proud of the fact that I unintentionally called her coming back. If you saw my post on Twitter, you know what I'm talking about. But I just hope they actually treat her like I just hope that they actually treat her well. I hope they treat anyone well in the new show, but her especially. It feels weird that she is seemingly a main now, but they aren't giving her the same special attention that they're giving Thomas and Percy. It feels like they're doing more for Diesel. So, just I don't know. Fingers crossed they actually do anything meaningful with her. Because fucking Brenner era didn't. You are getting Rosie as red, and that's it. I hate that that sounds accurate. That's probably just how it's gonna be. Okay. Let's look at the truck. It's a truck. I don't like what the... I've gone on. I don't like what they do with the faces in the show, how all of them are sort of doing this, clearly you don't have an air fryer eyebrow thing. I will, I'll be generous to the truck though. This is supposed to look like a little shit, and also the face being ugly actually fits. But let's just get him open and talk about him. Okay. A bit lighter than Rosie, but still not bad. Okay. There's the face. And there's a quick spin around. Side. There is some decent detail with, like, the wooden planks, but you can see, like, the bare metal peeking through the yellow. I feel like they could have done the actual painting better. And also, while I don't mind the color that they chose for the truck, I feel like what they should have done was that they should have painted the frames on the side to match the promo art. Because I think painting these black would really help make it pop a bit more. And just break up the fact that it is just a yellow brick. Also, I feel like they could have easily put cargo in here. They've done that for the All Engines Go and the Trackmaster Push-Along Troublesome Trucks. But, yeah, I don't know, it's just a little bit of a shame. There it is with Rosie. So, a little bit shorter than her. And there's how it looks next to Wooden Railway, if you're curious. This is cool, because I do feel... I could see myself buying a few of these and army building just to use them in videos. Is it riveted? Yes, it is. I'm afraid. So... Okay. Let's be honest. The main bits of the body are all metal, but the floor of the truck is plastic. Bit odd. Damn SMH. That's pretty much how I feel seeing any of the new toys be held in with rivets. That's what I liked about the All Engines Go stuff. You could take them apart easily and do your own customs. I thought that was fun. But also, the truck doesn't have counterweights, which is a good thing. Plastic 4 probably means plastic rivets. Actually, yeah, they look pretty plasticky to me. They don't have the same sheen as the metal does. So, there's some custom potential for you. I almost look back. Now let's see, who will I grab this time? Oh, this feels like a heavy one. It's this guy. I can't remember his name. I don't think he's important. But anyway, yeah. Oliver and Toad, our first 2-pack. And when was the last time they made Oliver and Toad toys, actually? I think Oliver was Adventures and Toad was Take and Play. Yeah, let's see. The magnets are actually the right way this time, so that's already a plus. Let's get them out. Ah, ow. Oliver 2018. Okay. So, 8 years. Yeah. He's been dead for 8 years, but now I will see him again. Are the new Oliver and Toad in your episode? Sorry for saying it again. It's fine, but no, they are not. Again, none of these diecasts are for my series. I'm a Wooden Railway user. Boxes out the way. Ugh. But there they are. We'll look at Toad first. Oh! He actually has some interior detail. I never noticed that before. Probably not showing up on camera. Like, it's not much, but it's there. They've molded on his windows, and there's like a pole, which I'm guessing is his handbrake. He also actually has a detailed floor pattern. That's surprising. Okay. We'll address the elephant in the room. His face. It's very skinny. It's not as wide as it used to be. And it kind of looks like that one unused happy face that Bulstrode had. Like, it's not a bad face, I think. It's one of the nicer looking ones from the rebrand, but it still doesn't scream Toad to me. Like, I think he needs to be longer. Or wider, sorry. Also, he is now a darker grey. I don't actually mind the color scheme. I think it's neat. Not a fan of the GWR shirt button on his side. That looks odd. They've also changed his number for some reason. Not sure why. And also, the board with his face on it is higher than the ones on the side, which is not the end of the world, but it's still a little off-putting. Detail on the back. The main body bit is all metal. The roof is plastic. And he is held in with rivets. But, of course, if you don't have a Wooden Railway Toad, you can add this to your collection. Though he is a little small. "8 years plus 10 years, 18 years. Speaking of which, let's now look at Oliver. Yet again, he's doing the eyebrow thing. But, actually, they changed his nose shape. Is it just me, or does this face look like it would suit Duck more? I think it's the nose. Odd. He's got a decent amount of molded detail. Like, he's got his handrails on the side. His funnel is very tall. Safety valve is a separate plastic piece. He's actually got a molded headlamp, which is cool. Buffer beams are all black. He's more of like a... not olive. I don't think it's olive, but an interesting shade of green. He's also got yellow lining, which is interesting. I think he had that, like, when he was introduced in the Railway series. I don't know if that was something he only had in his BR guys, or if that is, like, a permanent part of his design. I'd have to look it up. But, yeah. His back wheels are a bit off-putting because they're supposed to be smaller. They also have counterweights, even though they shouldn't. But you know what? It's not the worst. I guess it's a pretty solid representation of a 1400. Like I have seen worse Oliver toys. I do think it would have been nice if they at least painted the buffer beam red at the front, but it's whatever. I don't expect them to. Really, it's just insane that they've actually made an Oliver toy after this long, and the fact that he's in the first wave. Now to just see if that actually means anything when the show comes out, if it comes out. 'Cause who fucking knows at this point? Will you maybe do an updated version of your Henry collection or not? Uh, yeah, most likely. That could very well become a yearly tradition at this point. Do you like Charlie from Thomas and Friends, and did you know he's going to transform into a girl in the reboot? Uh, yeah, I like Charlie. I He's not a character I think about a lot, but I don't hate him. And honestly, well, as for Charlie becoming a girl in the reboot, good for her. That may end up even becoming canon to my series. Who knows? Well, I do, but I'm under no obligation to tell you. They gave him the duck nose, I assume, intentionally. I guess I could see it. They did give Toad the same shirt button logo for synergy, I guess. Oliver is Olive, I'm sure. That would make sense. Just transformed into a girl. God, I wish that were me. But okay. Alright, so they do also have the same color eyes. I wonder if that was intentional. Yeah, no. Yeah, honestly, not too much to say about these really, just a pretty solid pack, and cool that you actually get them both together. I think it's the first time that any merch line has actually paired these two together, which is shocking. Oh, and also, because I have to. I just have to. Finally, CGI Oliver. Who knows, maybe I will use this one in videos. Just because it'd be funny. Okay. Who is next? Another big one. Who did I grab? Gordon. Gordon. Yeah, I'm gonna open this one quickly, because the sooner I don't have to look at this thing, the better. I am also very curious to see how they handled the tender engines in this, because I know they're permanently attached to their tenders now. Which I don't actually mind all that much. But let's see. Oh. Huh. Okay. He's very fat. And I'm not sure if there is enough clearance in the tender to go around curves. I would assume, or at least I would hope, that they tested these enough to know if he can go round curves. But I don't know. The coupling system between the engine and tender weirdly reminds me of Leo Kim Video's Mad Bomber engines. How he cut the tenders off of the Ertl engines and then attach them like this, just so they'd be easier to film with. It's interesting. The face is well done. I don't like the expression, but it looks like it. They made it accurate to the art. Looks at Hero and Nia with no bogeys. Good point. I don't know if I'm gonna get Hero, but I do plan on getting Nia, so we'll see how she works. Also, just the obvious with Gordon, his boiler seems to be the only bit of metal on the entire toy. The cab is plastic, splashes are plastic, the tender is completely plastic. Tender also just looks weird because it's missing its middle wheels. I feel like they could have done that, especially because there's nothing blocking the axle. Oh my god. Other than that, he has an accurate wheel configuration, which is a first for the diecast range, and it's kind of neat. His front wheels do swivel, a bogey, but also his wheels at the front, as well as these wheels back here, are a different mold, and I'm not sure why. I feel like I don't know. But also, of course, he's held in with rivets mostly, but the bogey is held in with a triangle screwdriver. I am interested to try and take one of these things apart just to see how they work and see how I can mess around with them. I'm also noticing the paintwork on its handrails is a little sloppy on this side. That's unfortunate. Again, he has molded headlamps, which is cool. He actually has the express head code. I don't know, what more do you want me to say about him? It's... I don't know, I guess the dark blue is nice. He kinda just looks like my childhood wooden railway Gordon that I covered in permanent marker because I thought it was Railway Series accurate. But yeah. If there's anything else, I just wish that his boiler wasn't so big. I don't know. What else? Yeah, I'm not sure what else to say. It's Gordon. And, fucking I've not put any of these engines next to each other, so let's just get an idea of scaling. And oh my god! She is tiny! How does she look next to Oliver, actually? I know Oliver's small in CGI. They're pretty equal, actually. Um, comments. Are you going to get the new Charlie? Yeah, most likely. Rosie is really small. She really is. Okay. Who's next? Is this even one of them? I think it's a small one, so it's the other truck. Yeah. I don't need to do a whole ass review on the other truck, so let's just open this up. Oh my god, I nearly flung Rosie off the table. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Trucks. Don't be surprised if I end up picking up more of these every so often, because they're cheap, so might as well army build. That being said, I don't think I mentioned I'm not going to be picking up every character in the range. Probably only just a few of them that appeal to me. Thoughts on the new diesel? As in, I mean, the toy itself, it looks okay, I guess. If we're talking about his design in the show, it's a little weird. It does just look like they made a CGI version of his All Engines Go face and stuck it on the model. And also, the red running board is very weird. I can't imagine Rheneas looking the same as the AI image, to be honest. Oh, yeah, that one that was going around for a while, no. Bleh. I am very curious to see Rheneas, though, and any other potential narrow gauge engines they make. And back, middle of my job, currently taking a break. Well, welcome back. Do you like Charlie being a girl in the new reboot? Yes, I do. In fact, honestly, I would say that they're cowards for not making more characters into girls. It's a good way to fix the gender balance issue without introducing too many new characters at once. If anything, if a character has a gender neutral name, or just a completely made up name entirely, I feel like they should be free reign to be turned into girls, like Whiff or Duck, Skarloey, Rheneas, and the fact that Charlie seems to be the only one we know of that they're doing that with for now is a coward's move. Give me female Duck. Do it, you won't. What? Ah, Thomas and Annie. What the fuck am I supposed to say about this thing? Yeah. I know the whole point of this is to look at the toys and not talk about the show too much, but Annie and Clarabelle getting grey faces could maybe work, but I don't like the way they've done it here. They look horrifying. But, well, you know what? We do finally have an idea of them with the face design. Big day for people who love Season 12 and hate women. Get out of the box. Okay. We'll look at Annie first. Okay, the face doesn't look as bad on the toy, I suppose. Her body is all plastic. but her chassis is metal. Oh, and I don't know if you're still here, Wolfie, but because you asked about the faces. Anyone who would like to use this for customs, this is held together with screws. Right. Isn't Whiff also a girl in the reboot? No, I don't think so. We got the promo image for his box, and he doesn't seem to have eyelashes or anything. Because all the female characters gotta have eyelashes now, but that's a whole other debate. Again, Annie has nice enough detail. She has the letter A in the middle there because they can't write English names anymore. And I do like the mixture of the All Engines Go ornate details on her. They're very fancy. And I assume, well, I think Clarabelle is just gonna be this, but in reverse. I do think it would be cool if to see some generic coaches of this type, like maybe just thrown into sets and stuff. I am planning on buying the sets that are available at some point, but probably when they go down in price around Christmas. Uh, and I might even do a stream talking about those if people are interested. Anyway, here's Thomas. Uh, the face looks better on the toy, but I still don't like the expression they gave him. Oh, that's bad. His number one on this side is just covered in scratches. If the camera would focus. Oh, that's fun. Also, he looks like he sits weirdly high on his chassis. I get it's probably because they wanted the running board to line up with the magnets, but I feel like his body should be lower. Like this gap is not good. Molded headlamp, molded handrails, molded tail lamp. Which is cool. I don't think Oliver had that. No, he didn't. His whistle is there. It's not painted. Would have been cool if it was, or if it was maybe a separate plastic piece. But lower half, notwithstanding, the proportions of the body are fine. Right. My internet cut out. What's up with the other Thomas side? Like, oh, on mine, his number one has a bunch of scratches on it, and you can see the blue coming through it. Yeah. I too would love to see Duck as a girl in the reboot. What if Sir Topham Hatt was a girl in the reboot? That would be sick. If only the station set came with a coach to pick up the passengers from the station. Yeah, if only. Imagine that. Okay. Yeah, no, that's Thomas. Again, I the messed up printing on mine, notwithstanding. Again, I just feel like this would be a lot better if it wasn't for this gap between the body and the wheels. And it sucks, as I mentioned earlier, the main character should be like the one that the main the main character should be like a baseline for the entire range. And him be the fact that point is, yeah, he doesn't look as good as some of the others, and that's a shame. But well, do about that now. And with that, we have a final one to look at. Why am I looking away? I know who it is. It's Henry, 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 Henry. Okay, let's look at Henry. Oh, God. Just from looking at it, I do think he looks nicer than Gordon, but we'll see if my opinion changes once I've got him in hand. Dolan. Yeah, I really want to get Dolan. I hope they make him. It would be cool to see a 2026 Dolan in stores. Okay. Wait. Is Henry heavier than Gordon? Okay, they're about the same. His tender seems like it has a lot more clearance than Gordon, though. That's good. Wait, look at that. Look how tight that is. And then look at this. Like, this I have no trouble believing can get around curves. Okay. The face. Again, looks good as a recreation of what's on the box. Not my ideal Henry face. The proportions, I like them. I think he came out better than Gordon. Because he's not as fat. Also, Henry also has a molded whistle on his firebox. It seems he and Thomas are the only engines I've got that have that. Also interesting to note, Henry's cylinders are molded into his chassis, but Gordon's are molded into his running board. Not sure why. Henry doesn't have a headlamp. I imagine probably because he was built off of, like, with nitrogen promos as a reference. He does have rivets, though. And, of course, he has his splasher with a chunk bitten off of it. He's got this, like, detail on the tender here. Also, the coal doesn't seem to be printed on as well, because you can see some green coming through it. The silver paint's coming off the handrails on this side. But, yeah, they're pretty different on the bottom. I think Henry is actually a little bit longer than Gordon. You can see there. Okay. You know what? Yeah, I will go as far as to say this is probably the best tender engine so far, out of the two that I have. Okay. I didn't get James. I'm probably going to wait to get him because I don't like him. His face scares me. It also just doesn't look like the character. Granted, none of these really look like how the characters used to look like, but it's ridiculous. course. Again, Henry has the same problem as Gordon, where the tender is all plastic and there's this huge gap between the wheels that's kind of distracting. But other than that, he's alright. Like, he's actually got pretty solid proportions. How's work on your series going? Slow. But it's going. Like, with any luck, I want to try and get it out before Christmas. But if we're lucky, maybe I will get... At best, maybe I can get it around, like, Christmas to New Year times. As long as it's out before 2027, I don't care. But episode 9 is a pretty simple episode, though. Without spoiling too much, there's been a lot of reworking behind the scenes. Episode 9 is very different than how I originally envisioned it, and I have to film some new stuff, but it's a very simple story where not a lot happens, and not too many locations are required, so I think I can knock it out fairly easily. And that is all I will say. But okay. I wonder what that could mean. Yeah, you have no idea. Absolutely none. Do think about doing a real big Thomas movie for your series. If you're asking about me making a big movie for my series, then yeah, that is something I've had in mind for a while. I do have plans for it, but I do have a lot more normal episodes that I want to finish first. I never actually talked about it, but with regards to the change of the magnets, they're not weak. I guess they're decently strong. I feel like you can build a good sized train with these. Still not sure why they decided to change these, like now, because they're just completely incompatible with what came before, but whatever, when has Mattel ever made sense with their decisions? Check back and woo, I need Clarabelle screws! Yeah! I'm probably gonna... I might even take this apart after the stream just to... just to see what... just to see what I'm working with. I have plans on buying the deluxe tank engines and rolling stock and the separate rolling stock characters once the show has aired. Yeah, fair. It probably makes more sense to wait to buy the stuff till after the show's out and you know if you like it or not, but whatever, I'm impatient. If I don't know. But okay. That is everything I've got. We've looked at Thomas and Annie, Henry, Gordon, Oliver and Toad, Rosie, and 2 troublesome trucks. So I guess now this is the part where I'm supposed to give my thoughts. Like, question, are they capable of running on wooden tracks? Yes, they are. They work pretty well, actually. Let me just grab a tender engine. They are as well. Yep, the tender engines and their smaller wheels also work on it just fine. Okay, Oliver and Toad are my favorite ones. That's fair. They look really nice. I think for me, it's probably a tie. It's probably either Oliver and Toad or Henry. At least in terms of looks, I think they're pretty solid. Rosie, I think, would be better if she just wasn't so out of scale. Thomas would be fine if it wasn't for the gap. Gordon, again, I think he would be okay, but he's just way too big. And the trucks, well, the trucks are hard to mess up. They're pretty solid, but they do need some extra detail. I'm probably going to be painting these after the stream. So, yeah, that's... I will say, though, it's not exactly a new problem. Mattel has always been poor with its quality control, but stuff like the printing being a bit off on these is unfortunate. I wish they would work on that. That's really my biggest complaint with them. However, ultimately, I do think that the diecasts are a better investment than the motorized toys. Because I did get Percy and Nia to test them out. I have never returned a toy to the store so quickly. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The motorized toys are crap. I would not recommend them. Like, they look good. Most of them do anyway. But function-wise, they are a severe downgrade from what came before. And Trackmaster 2 was already a bad line to begin with. The fact that they found a way to make that worse, it's astounding. And while I would have preferred these to have smart magnets, the sort of dummy wooden railway style ones, I do think they work better with these than they did with Take and Play. Because the fact that the bodies are actually proportional, for the most part, it makes these a lot less distracting. And them being able to actually work with Wooden Railway is really cool. Especially since Wooden Railway is, oh, dead. And probably will be dead for a long time. It's not ideal, but if you need a substitute, then it's there, I suppose. When's the Dolaning? I'm sure Dolan days will be upon us soon. I would get Oliver and Toad, Rosie, Nia, and Charlie, maybe flying. I'm not sure. Oh, you probably mean Flynn. Yeah, though those all seem decent from what I've seen. I will definitely be getting Nia and Charlie. I might get Flynn Jr. just because it's funny. My main plans with the range, I'm not going to collect everything. I'll probably be getting engines 1 to 12, as well as Nia and Mavis, Charlie, Bill, and maybe Ben, if they make him. The narrow gauge engines definitely interest me. The main thing, I guess, I'm not going to be getting Salty. I don't think he looks good. I probably won't get Hero, which is unfortunate because I like Hero, but his toy doesn't impress me. The toy itself looks fine, but I don't. Well, he's going to suffer the same problem as all tender engines with the weird tender design. And I don't like the number 51 on his nameplate. if they're not allowed to write characters' names on them anymore, I feel like there's a better way they could go about it. I would have accepted them just removing the nameplates completely. But, do they work on double or triple point tracks? If you give me a moment, I can go grab some and test it. I might as well also check if they can go around curves. Period. And I return! Okay. Okay. I grabbed some curves and a set of points. I assume if they work on these points, they'll work on a triple piece. Because let's see. Big curves. Yeah, I imagine. No surprise, tank engines work just fine. I think it's mainly the tender engines that I should try. Okay. Henry manages these curves just fine. Gordon, he's a bit of a tighter fit because of the rear wheel, but he does seem to just get through. I feel like the smaller curves are going to tell a different story. Okay, yeah, no. You will not be getting the bigger engines over these. Tank engines seem fine. Let's see Oliver, just because he has a slightly longer wheelbase. Yeah, he works fine. Points. Yeah, Henry can clear the straight part, and he can clear the curved part reasonably well. Gordon, I imagine, will be a problem. Okay, Gordon can get through them, but again, he does scrape a bit. I feel like Hero is probably going to be an awkward one on those, though. Because again, he has no bogies. Out of all the trains you got, do you like new I'm guessing I guess you're just asking if I like the new ones, and yeah, I do. I I do think that this is as much as I'm skeptical about the reboot itself, but judging these just as toys, I think they're fine. Again, I do think they are better than the motorized ones. These actually do seem to have a little bit of care put into them. For the most part, they look nice, and they seem to function decently. They seem competently made, even though I feel like could do with the tenders not being all plastic. And of course, there are the usual quality concerns with Mattel, such as printing errors and some stuff not coming out of the box well. But I don't think this is a bad range. It's not a perfect range, but it's not a bad one. Like, it's serviceable. I think that's the nicest way I can put it. Like, it does the job if you just want a version of a certain character. And on that note, it does have a decent character variety. Because again, we got Oliver and Toad in Wave 1. And we're getting so many other characters later this year, like Mavis, and Mavis and Duck and Bill, Rheneas. As to how good those characters turn out, it's 50-50 on whether they'll really look the best, but I do like that we are actually getting a range with a decent character variety. And that's just for the first year alone. I would hope that this range can expand and actually do good. Because even as something themed around the reboot, if we have to live with these weird faces, it's at least nice to know that there are versions of these characters available. I do think the range shows some promise, and I would like to see it improve with time. And I would even hope for the motorized range to improve. But that's a bit more drastic. That would include redesigning them completely. Because as they are now, they're bad. The Percy and Nia that I bought, I returned those to the store 2 weeks ago. They are still there. And I know they're the ones I returned because I can see where I sealed the boxes. Those things have not moved in 2 weeks. And I just have hope in these doing better because it's already tempting enough that they're cheaper. And then being able to free roll does well, and the fact that since they aren't powered, you don't have to worry about them struggling to pull 5 trucks. But redesigning the motorized trains to only have a single AAA was a terrible decision. I'll try not to get any more. Well, that helps to know I can safely buy the ones plan. Maybe not for Nia. Yeah. Honestly, I'm still gonna buy Nia anyway, just because I think she looks good. That's probably the best Nia toy we've gotten. And I'd go as far as to say she's one of the nicest looking of the new range, but her not having bogies does worry me. I'll just have to see when she comes out, because I don't know, if people are interested, when more stuff comes out, I might do more live streams of me doing my thoughts on these. I do like doing this a lot more than actual reviews. I enjoy the more casual vibes, and I hope you all do too. But, yeah, I'm not sure what else there is to say. I guess I will just wait for a moment, see if any more comments come in. We've only got 3 people watching, so I doubt there'll be too much. But I will probably end this soon, because we have been going for a while. And I should probably eat something soon. But, while I'm here, I'll just see, do my little test. Which of these characters is the heaviest? Okay, this is gonna sound weird because of how small she is, but I think Rosie is the heaviest. That's shocking. I almost thought that, like, maybe Toad would take that, or Oliver, but no. Is Nia going to be a girl or a boy? I don't know. She's a boy. Well, she has eyelashes still, and Nia is a girl's name. I don't think they would change her. I feel like if they're going to change characters' genders, they will only make a character into a girl. I don't think they would change someone into a boy. Because, look, the gender balance in Thomas is bad enough as is. Why turn someone into a guy? Thinking about it, I feel like turning Rusty non-binary again would be cool, but I don't expect them to go that far. Okay. Where's Thomas? Oh my god. Again, I've complained about the thing with Thomas's chassis a lot already, but I'm realizing he should not be that tall next to Gordon. Oh my god. He's Gordon the big engine. He should not be. He's like almost shorter than Thomas. That's not right. Wait. Yes. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Okay. Yes. Soto Productions. We do not talk about that person. They are not worth listening to. You know, actually, I am curious to see how this range does Bruno, because he's the only All Engines Go character that we know of that is coming back so far. I'm curious to see how they're going to make him actually match the aesthetic of these guys. Because they're clearly just the Nitrogen and Arc models, slightly tweaked. Ah, non-binary Rusty, yeah. NB Rusty is cool. What's also cool is Rusty's basis being done up in the non-binary flag colors. The Tally Clin was pretty based for that. Okay. I just can't stop looking at these things. Again, I'm still not sold on the faces, but the actual designs of the engines, I do like them. I really would have liked to see what this team could have done with just CGI style toys, which I mean we did last year, but that I don't know if that really counts. That just being an anniversary thing. I feel like it would be cool to see these with like CGI faces and see what they could do for other characters, but I don't mind these. I am I am very interested to see what they do with the other characters. And I'll definitely pick more of these up in the future. I can't wait for the reboot on Netflix. All Engines Go Bruno is my favorite, and I can't wait to see him in the reboot. Cool. Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic for the new show. Well, I'm trying not to get my hopes up, but I am curious. Okay. They should gender bend only one narrow gauge engine and make it a handle. That would be funny as hell, actually. Don't even change the name. That would. Which, yeah, tech... Sir Hayden. The just because of that, the people on the TR they still refer to that as to her as a she. Granted, in real life, all locomotives are technically female. So, did you know Bruno has a disability like me? Well, yeah, I think everyone knows that Bruno is meant to be autistic, and it is cool that they're bringing him back just for that representation. I I've heard it was managed well in All Engines Go. I haven't watched it, but I've heard that he was handled really well, and I hope that they would keep that up with him in the new show. I'm curious to see how they would do it. Okay. Alright, but I hate to cut this off so abruptly, but not a lot is really happening right now anyway, and also, I think the blood sugars are running low. So, I think now's an okay time to wrap it up. But thank you to everyone who did come in, and hopefully I'll do more of these soonish. I realize I've been dormant with the streams for a while, and who knows, maybe I'll do another one sometime soon where I do actually show off some of my customs. But yeah, it's been nice having you. See you. Gotta go. Bye. I feel very low. Yeah, I am your blood sugar. I... Understood. I would make a joke saying no wonder you're so sweet, but like you I can't talk there's stuff I can't talk about because it might unintentionally spoil Subject Legends, but you fucking know what you've done, Hazel. I don't like the new Gordon, I'm not getting him. That's valid. I'm not a big fan. Really. I, no wonder my blood sugars are low. Gordon probably ate everything I have. Look at him. You look at him from the right angle, all you can see is his face. You can't make out his cab or anything. Lamau. Okay. His favorite is Chex Mix. Alright. There's only one person watching it. I think it's Hazel, but again, thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you around. Been good. Peace. Henry?